Oh, big run. Oh, he fumbled. He fumbled. Shit.
He's still
Slay. Now he's about to lose his mind.
He hasn't seen the play yet.
Please tell me why he had What is it?
The world is a better place. The world is a better place when we have Philly 500 meltdowns, and I'm hoping that we have return of the Mac. Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. We got Jobu in the house, and of course, Bucky Beaver. That's right, Bucky Beaver's in the house. And wow. Do you realize that today, friends,
we sitting here, I supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen.
We're going to be talking about practice.
Not a game. Not
the games. But we're going to be talking about practice.
Not a game.
Not a game.
Not the game.
Not the game.
Go out there and
but
die
practice.
And play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that, man? We're talking about practice. I know I'm supposed to be there. I know I'm supposed to lead by example. I know that. And I'm not shoving it aside, like it don't mean anything. I know it's important. I do. I honestly do. But we talking about practice.
We talking about practice today in the next couple of days, which is better than talking about Jerry Jones. Here's what is amazing if you are the Dallas Cowboys. You would think that the Dallas Cowboys are the only team that actually opened up training camp. ESPN and all those shows and everything else spent all morning talking about Jerry Jones and the press conference, Micah Parsons and his contract, and how the Cowboys will do. The Dallas Cowboys move the needle. They're not talking about any other team. They're not talking about Trey Hendrickson has not showed up for camp and has left the state. Not even in the state. He's like, screw this. Contract negotiation broke down. I'm not going to be there. They ain't talking about that. They sitting there talking about Jerry frickin' Jones. And so I slept on it, and I feel a little bit better. I've been up since 7 this morning because we had to take care of a roof and stuff before it gets hot and before we get done with practice, which will be around, they'll practice is 11 o'clock that time. So that's about 2 o'clock here. They'll be finished about 4 o'clock. And so that's when we need to be here so we can be talking about practice. Couple of things that we sitting here needing to talk about with practice is with the Cowboys press conference. After stepping away from it, hearing Jerry Jones vent, okay? And Jerry Jones is like, basically, screw all these mother humpers. I ain't paying shit to nobody. Even if I pay Micah, it doesn't mean that he's going to play every single game. He sounded like the crazy man. He literally sounded like there was something off about him. He was like,
the whim of a madman. I like that.
The whim of a madman is about where we were with it. It was just crazy talk, and it was an embarrassment. That was almost as embarrassing as Momo's ass. I'll be real with you. But on the real, here's where you have to read between the lines and understand that Jerry Jones is kind of like the dog races where they've got the electric rabbit, that the rabbit jumps out and the dogs start chasing him, for the race, right? The rabbit is the catch, get the excitement of everybody following. That's Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is out there getting everybody excited and worked up and everything else. But pay attention to Stephen Jones. The thing about Stephen Jones is you may not like him. You may call him Catboy, but he does not lie to you. He does not lie to you. And when asked about Tyler Smith, do you see that, that deal is, you're talking to him anytime soon? And his response was, who's to say, who said that we haven't been talking? That's where you kind of get, okay. And when you have Jerry Jones saying, I haven't talked to David Magenta, I don't talk to his agent. And you think that, okay, Jerry Jones is doing all of the stuff in here. When you go buy a car, for example, you show up at the dealership, right? The guy comes out, hey, have you been helped? And is like, yeah, no, I haven't been helped yet. So you got the salesman. He's showing you the cars, and asking you what you're looking for, what kind of price range and things like that. He's doing all the work here. And, finally he gets you into the office there to start talking stuff. And then the general manager comes in and says, hey, how you doing? And, and talks to you for a little bit, right? And says, girl, welcome aboard, and we'll work on getting this deal done, right? Then it goes back to the salesman who's doing all the work. Well, that's Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is the GM. He talks to the player and, say, hey, Micah, we're going to get this contract done, and here's the basis of what we want to do. And, we want you to be more of a team leader here and things. And we want to be winning Super Bowls, attaboy. There you go. And then he turns it back over to the underlings, Stephen Jones. And so Stephen Jones says, Jerry doesn't talk to the agents. I do. That lets you know that, okay, Jerry Jones is telling the truth. I haven't talked to him, but I never talk to the agents. I talk to the players and try and get a feel for it and get the basis done and pass it off to Stephen Jones, who actually will do the grunt work, rightly or wrongly, for getting these deals done. And Stephen Jones kind of hinted along that they have plans to speak with 4 or 5 of our guys. So Micah Parsons, Tyler Smith, you have to think Deron Bland, are ones that they're looking at getting deals and stuff done. And they're sitting here with the $32 million. And if they were able to get a Tyler Smith and having his 5th-year option and stuff there to work with, they can create more cap space to be able to get some of these other deals done. And that would be the hope of what you want to have happen here, is to get those things squared away. Now, this morning, here's what we get, of course, and you have to take what's said on the shows with a grain of salt. Actually, you need to take it with where's my chunk? Is my rock salt over here? I got a chunk of salt someplace. Here we go. You need to take what Adam Schefter says with a chunk of rock salt, okay? Not a pinch. Not a pinch, a chunk of rock salt. And yes, I'm salty about last season. And here's what they say about the Micah Parsons situation.
So if Jerry Jones knows how the movie ends, he can literally say whatever he wants.
He may know how the movie is going to end, but it also helps to start that movie. And they haven't even submitted a contract proposal yet to Micah Parsons. So there are no negotiations. And so we may try to get to the end of that movie, but there's a lot of movie to play. There's 2.5 hours that we still have to get through. We haven't even gotten to the opening credits or anything like that because nothing has happened. And so for all the talk that we've had about Micah and a contract and how close they are or aren't, they're not close.
Yeah, what is the latest on that?
They haven't started. There's been no negotiations. So at some point this summer, everybody's expecting and waiting for that deal to get done, but they're not getting a deal done until they can start talks, come up with offers, and there have been no offers exchanged so far.
That was him on First Take, and let's get it on Get Up.
Well, the fact of the matter is that the Dallas Cowboys have not even made a contractual offer to Micah Parsons yet. So this is a conversation that apparently could linger on through the summer because they're nowhere in the negotiation game. And this is a familiar script for the Dallas Cowboys. We've seen it before from them. They did this very same thing last year. If we take a look, they waited until September 10th to sign Dak Prescott. They waited until August 27th to sign CeeDee Lamb. Let's just say, for argument's sake, that they had moved a little quicker and they signed Dak at the beginning of the offseason in May, around the time that Jared Goff got signed. You can't tell me that Dak Prescott at that time wouldn't have done a deal in the low 50s. I believe he would have. You can't tell me that if CeeDee Lamb had done his deal in late April, that he wouldn't have done a deal for 30, 31, 32. In either case, you're talking about $9-10 million that the Dallas Cowboys were forced to spend because they didn't act sooner. You know what?
That's another really good free agent.
A running back like Derrick Henry, which they said they couldn't afford. Well, the way to afford these things sometimes is to get out in front of them and to act sooner, which is something they didn't do last year and are not doing again this year. Well,
here's the thing. In life, you got to take risks. And Jerry Jones, being an oil man, you would think that he knows that not every well that they drilled, became a glory hole. Sometimes you get dry wells, even though all the everything said this is the spot. Sometimes shit it's just wrong. And that's going to happen with contracts. As the saying goes, scared money don't make no money. You're going to make mistakes. Everything in the NFL, there's so many variables that it's a crapshoot. Even if somebody has been great playing, you're one play away from that person actually being retired. And it doesn't matter how much you pay that person. It's a reality of the nature of the sport. And so you see the Eagles, which at the moment have $76 million in dead money. Those are mistakes that they made. But you have to look at guys like A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley, that they were right on that led them to a Super Bowl. You sitting here worrying about every single contract and paying a coach, even though you know he's not going to succeed because you're worried about losing some money. You're worried about losing, $5 million of paying Mike McCarthy on a year where you fire him. You literally wasted money. It costs you more money by trying to save a little bit of money. And I always tell people, you get what you pay for. If you're turning around and selling something, then fine. Go buy your cheap faucets at Home Depot because you're not going to have it next year when the thing starts to peel because it's not actually chrome. It's just like a little chrome topping on top of it, and it's peeling. But if you're going to keep it, you go out and you get yourself a good Delta faucet. It might cost you twice as much at the beginning, but it's worth a whole lot more in the long run because you're not paying a plumber to come back and change the faucet, which he'll charge you $150 to come back to change the damn thing. But you saved. You saved by buying that cheap faucet, though, didn't you? For the short run. And this is where we are with Jerry Jones. My prayer is that they just want to say, Jerry Jones, we're going to let you go out your way. We're going to let you say whatever the hell you want to and the things. We're going to go ahead and try and work with the team and the organization to try and win. And you just be you, bro. I hope that's the case. I hope that what Jerry said does not become reality. So we'll see. And, of course, all we have to talk about right now, which is actually a good thing, is the Micah Parsons contract. Rich Eisen, my buddy. Let's close it out.
Okay. We have reached the portion of training camp where the Dallas Cowboys are in, and Jerry Jones is meeting with the media, which means
crazy shit.
A step and repeat of the Cowboys star and their sponsor behind Jerry with the aviators talking about somebody he hasn't signed yet. And we know he's going to. And we know he has to. And he knows he has to. And he knows he's going to. But he hasn't yet. Honestly. Tell me that's not almost every training camp now, right?
I mean, this is like a step and repeat in real life when it comes to
It's not just what's behind him. This is like step and repeat. Rinse the whole thing.
You know?
All right. Jerry was asked if he's frustrated by not having Micah Parsons signed yet. Roll tape.
Not at all. We do, and I don't mean this, I have things undone, dangling participles. I bet I have 20 of them every day in some pretty serious areas. You can't have it all done at the same time. It doesn't work that way. And so this is just a part of it. We've got, again, I want to mention that we're here with everybody under contract. 2 years ago, we were here, and I think Zach Martin wasn't here. You had a situation, although we had a contract, so you worked through that. I was looking at this documentary, and I spent some time going back in the Emmitt Smith negotiation and what was going on there. There's nothing new about what we're talking about here today relative to contracts. That's been going on a long time. Now, if you say, well, if you don't get him in, are you going to lose the first 2 games and then go on to win the Super Bowl? Well, we'll take that. I am not the least concerned about having any dangling participles out here on a contract anywhere.
It would have been great if he actually dangled a participle at the end of that soundbite. But he did not.
Word of the day, dangling.
Okay. It's his money. It's his cap. That's all.
It's his money. It's his team.
And he had this to say about negotiating with Micah.
Of all of the people that I've sat down with as a player, of all the players that I've ever negotiated with, Michael Parson is as savvy and knowledgeable and understanding of his financial business relative to football as any player I've ever been around.
Did we get a new player? Or?
No, I'm sure let's just give him the benefit of the doubt. He's probably thinking of Irv. Remember Irv talked about his negotiation? I'm sure people will jump on that like Jerry's, didn't say the name of the guy he's going to pay $45 million a year to.
Well, he may have buried it with the dangling participle.
No, I hear you.
Maybe people claim to not know his agent.
That's true. Maybe you don't know the player. That's why he hasn't signed him, because he can't find him on the roster.
He's going to sign him. It's going to be generationally enriching. It's going to be market setting.
Yeah, we all know this. So let's just get to it, Jerry.
I know. Let's just get to it.
What are we doing?
And again, it's going to wind up maybe costing them somebody on special teams here or there. I don't know what it's going to, or it won't matter. And he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. Dak's going to come back, look great. Brian Schottenheimer is going to be Coach of the Year, and they do go to the Super Bowl.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern.
Shout out, Rich. So the question is why did Jerry Jones go through and basically bitch slap everybody, especially Micah? You know, he's savvy. Is it he's tired of getting rolled up by all of the contracts that they're signing? And mind you, everybody's talking about, and it's true that CeeDee Lamb's number is high. That the $34 million per year is what he's being paid. Although what he's actually being paid is a lot less. Tyreek Hill, his cap number this year is $32 million. And CD, let me look and see what CD because there's perception and there's reality. CeeDee Lamb, for example, his cap number is 15. So you tell me, was it really that bad? His number's 15 million this year. Tyreek Hill, 32. I'm Mark Holmes, and I'll see you soon.
Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. The human drama of athletic competition. is ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Brought to you by Lincoln Mercury. Nobody has more kinds of cars for more kinds of people. See them at the sign of the cat. By Goodyear, makers of the custom Steel Guard radial tire. And by State Farm Mutual. Almost anywhere you live, there's a State Farm agent nearby. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.